what happens when someone lives vicariously through you. When my mom was 19, my grandparents gave her two choices: get disowned or get rid of it. She chose me over them, eloped at City Hall, and buried her dreams of a beautiful golden wedding. So when I got engaged 30 years later, she broke down crying in my kitchen saying, "I'm going to give you everything I never had, sweetheart." She threw herself into wedding planning like it was her job. She made spreadsheets, researched venues, and scheduled appointments faster than I could keep up. My friends kept telling me how lucky I was to have such a supportive mom, and I agreed. She was paying for most of it, handling all the stressful details, and seemed genuinely excited to see me walk down the aisle. When she suggested we check out the garden venue instead of the church I'd mentioned, I figured she had better taste than me anyway. But then she started making decisions without asking me. She booked the expensive photographer I'd said was too expensive and told me, "You'll thank me later." When I suggested including my mother-in-law in the dress shopping, my mom said she wouldn't understand what we're looking for. I figured she was probably right. She knew more about planning than I did. Her excitement about the wedding kept growing. She rewrote my fiance's best man speech and removed his family's traditional blessing in their native language, saying guests wouldn't understand it anyway. When I tried to push back, she got emotional and reminded me she was only trying to make this exactly how she envisioned it. 3 weeks before the ceremony, I found different invitations in my mailbox announcing my parents' marriage on my wedding date at my venue. I called her immediately, hands shaking. She answered like she'd been waiting. "Isn't it perfect? I can walk down the aisle and you can walk after." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I told her I'd ban her from the wedding if she kept this up. She got quiet, then said in an ice-cold voice, "Try it, see what happens." I should have known she wasn't bluffing. 2 days later, my mom showed up at the bridal shop unannounced. She insisted on walking me to my car. As we reached the concrete steps, she suddenly shoved me hard. I tumbled down, my leg twisting beneath me. The crack was so loud I thought everyone heard it. Pain shot up my body and I screamed. I must have blacked out because the next thing I knew, she was hovering over me, sobbing innocently and calling 911 saying, "It's okay, baby, help is coming." From my hospital bed, I called my mom and said, still in agony, "You pushed me." Her response was eerily calm. "The wedding will go on exactly as planned, honey. You're no longer invited." She hung up, leaving me to recover alone, and knew I had to stop her. I rolled into the venue on a wheelchair, just in time to see my mom walk down the aisle in my wedding dress, dragging my confused father beside her. She looked radiant, like this was the happiest day of her life, while guests watched chaotically, holding different invitations and arguing about what was happening. I rolled through the entrance just as she reached the altar and shouted, "Stop!" She turned around and flashed a horrible smile and said, "Oh good, you made it. You can be my maid of honor." When the priest tried to step away, she grabbed him by the clerical collar, hissing, "You're going to finish this ceremony." Guests started standing up, moving toward the exits. "Nobody leaves!" she screamed. "This is my wedding day." She grabbed a flower girl by the arm when the child tried to run. "You're supposed to throw petals. Do your freaking job." That's when I saw her reach into her bouquet and pull out a kitchen knife. She pointed it at me, tears streaming down her face but still smiling. "This is all your fault," she said, her voice breaking. "You've ruined my wedding twice. First by being born, and now by trying to steal this day from me." The venue erupted in screams. My father finally snapped out of his shock and tried to grab her arm, but she spun around, waving the knife. "Get back! We're finishing the ceremony." She was sobbing and laughing at the same time, completely broken. Security rushed in, and she slashed the air in front of them. "I planned everything. I deserve this." It took 3 men to disarm her while she screamed about her perfect day. They dragged her away in the wedding dress, makeup smeared, still clutching the bouquet. 5 months later, my husband and I eloped. We sent postcards to my mother's psychiatric facility, and she sent back letters advertising her new bridal planning business with the tagline, "A mother's touch for a special day." I threw the letters away and hope she'll never have a chance to plan more weddings once she's out.